Okay. I thought I was going to be able to go live because I have over 55 subscribers now, which is awesome, but I still can't figure it out. And I want to go live because my camera only has 23 minutes on this. So I'm going to have to do this. It's going to have to be a 2-segment thing, unfortunately. And I'll try to figure out go live YouTube some other time. Or when I get the money, buy a better phone. So we're still working on the root chakra. I decided I'm going to sage the space this time before we get started. Ancestors, guides, spirit tribe beyond the veil, support us in our work in healing ourselves so that we can heal our collective. Okay, so we're going to do the root chakra, and we're going to start, as usual, aligning our chakras, okay? Starting with the crown all the way down. I'm going to try to be quick about this, but also conscious. Crown, third eye, throat, heart, solar plexus, sacral, root. Now I'm going to do clear the 2 energy lines, starting from the up, going down into the manifestation mode. Being very mindful of the flow. No blockage in the heart. Dropping down into the solar plexus, sacral and root. Okay, now up from the root. That one's flowing very easily. That one went straight up through. Well then. Okay. So I noticed the line going down the heart chakra had a little blockage in it. Just noticing. Okay. We're going to start with our opening chakra meditation, which is our root chakra. And I just want to show you guys a picture real quick because I did just see this. This is the manifesting current and the liberating current, or the 2 currents that I work on clearing before we go into the work on the actual chakra. Chakra 1, Earth, opening meditation. You are about to go on a journey. It is a journey through the layers of your own self. It is a journey through your life, through the worlds within and around you. It begins here in your own body. It begins now wherever you are. It is your own personal quest. Make yourself comfortable, for the journey is not short. It could take months, years, or lifetimes, but you have already chosen to go. You began a long, long time ago. You have been provided a vehicle in which to take this journey. It is your body. It is equipped with everything you might need. One of your challenges on this journey is to keep your vehicle nourished, happy, and in good repair. It is the only one you will be given. So, we begin our journey by exploring our vehicle. Take a moment to feel your body. Feel it breathing in and feel it breathing out. Feel your heart beating inside. The moisture in your mouth, the food in your belly, the sensations on the cloth of your skin. Explore the space your body occupies, height, width, weight. Find the front, back, top, bottom, and sides. Begin a dialogue with your body so that you may learn its language. Ask your body how it feels. See if it is tired or tense. Listen to the answer. How does it feel about going on this journey? You have been given a vehicle for this journey, but it is not something you have, it is something you are. You are your body. You are a body living a life in this physical world, getting up in the morning, eating, going to work, touching, sleeping, bathing. Feel your body going through its daily routines. See the number of interactions it has with the outside world in a day. Notice the interchange of hands, touching doors, steering wheels, other hands, papers, dishes, children, food, your lover. Think about how your body has grown and learned and changed over the years. What has it become to you? Do you ever thank it for taking care of you? What is the world like that your body interacts with? Feel the textures, the smells, the colors, and the sounds around you. Be your body feeling them, all the sensations your mind might miss but your body experiences. Feel the hardness of the earth and the wood, cement and metal. Feel its straight lines, its solidity, its permanence. Feel the soft firmness of the earth in its natural state, with its trees and grasses, lakes, streams, and mountains. Feel its curving gentleness, its protection and abundance. Feel the richness of this planet with its infinity of forms. Feel its immensity, its solidity, and how it supports you as you sit in your place on it, reading this book. This planet is a vehicle too. It takes us through time and through space. Feel the earth as a central unified entity, a living body, just like you, with an infinity of cells working together as a whole. You are a cell in this great body, part of Mother Earth, one of her children. We begin our journey here on this great body of earth. Our long climb upward begins by going down. We go down into this body as we go down into our own bodies, into our flesh, into our guts, into our legs and feet, digging our roots deep into the earth which supports and nourishes us. We move deep into her rocks and soil, deep into her guts of red-hot lava, seething deep below, into her source of life and movement and power. When we sink deeply, we come to the base of our spine and find a red glowing ball of energy, glowing like the core of the earth. Feel this molten energy running down your legs, through your knees, into your feet. Feel it running through your feet into the floor beneath you, through the floor and down into the earth, burrowing between rocks and roots, finding nourishment, support, and stability. Feel this cord of energy as an anchor, settling you, calming you, grounding you. You are here. You are connected. You are solid, but you are molten inside. Deep within your roots, you find your past, your memories, your primal self. Your connection here is simple, direct. You remember your heritage. Your ancient self is a child of the earth. She is your teacher. What is this matter that comes from the earth? Think of the chair you are sitting in, the trees it once was, the cotton in the field, the cloth on the loom. The workers that transported it, sold it, sat on it before. Think of the things you have, the complexity in each one of them, their abundance. Think of the financial abundance you may have, however large or small it may be. Think of it as a gift from the earth. How does it come to you? What does your body do to get it? What do you use it for? Think of this money as a stream of life running into you and out of you through your hands, your feet, your heart, and your mind. As it flows through you, feel yourself in constant exchange with the earth. Let the feeling of abundance come up from the earth into your feet, your legs, your pelvis, stomach, heart, and hands. Feel its expression in your throat, its recognition in your vision, its imprint in your mind. Take a deep breath and let it go down again. Through your body, through your head, neck, shoulders, arms, chest, belly, genitals, legs, feet, down into the earth, down below the surface of the earth, finding stability, finding nourishment, finding peace. Your body is the journey, and it is where you begin. It is your connection to the physical world, your foundation, the home of your dance. You are the place from which all action and understanding will arise and to which it will return. You are the testing ground of truth. You are the ground on which all things rest. You are the earth from which all things grow. You are here. You are solid. You are alive. You are the point from which all things begin. Okay. Now we're going to read. We unfortunately only have 10 minutes left, which is ridiculous, but whatever. Matter. The material world may be nothing but illusion, but such an exquisitely well-oriented illusion. Anodea Judith, she is the woman who wrote this brilliant book. We have described each of the chakras as being a kind of vortex, a swirling intersection of forces. These forces begin as a straight movement, linear vectors moving through the frictionless void. In the context of the chakra system, we have described them as the downward movement of manifestation and the upward movement of liberation, much like the condensation and expansion. One is centripetal, moving inward toward a center and toward self. The other is centrifugal, moving away from the center. When these two forces encounter each other, they encounter opposition and polarity, and assume secondary circular movements or vortices that create the chakras. Consider twirling a ball in a string. The string represents limitation, a centripetal force similar to gravity. If you shorten the string as you spin, the orbits get faster and smaller, more tightly bound around the center. The field created by the revolving ball appears more dense until it seems solid, just like a moving propeller blade. Shortening the string is analogous to increasing a gravitational field. The greater the mass of body, the stronger its field of gravity, and the more it will attract other bodies. Materialization occurs when there are enough forces of similar nature and direction to reach a critical mass, resulting in manifestation. This can be seen in anything from streams of water running into the sea to like-minded people bonding around a common cause. As the force of the energy increases, the manifestation becomes more pronounced and then draws more energy towards itself, a vortex of positive feedback. The center of this focus is analogous to what the Hindus call Bindu, B-I-N-D-U, a dimensionless source point that acts as a seed for manifestation. I really like that part. I'm going to read that again. Materialization occurs when there are enough forces of similar nature and direction to reach a critical mass, resulting in manifestation. Which, we don't have very much time, but if you think about it, like what the media does, right? They get people to be afraid, and they get people all riled up about what they feel like is important politically, and so you get a bunch of people with the same energy creating manifestations. Look at our world today. This can be seen in anything from streams of water running into the sea to like-minded people bonding around a common cause. As the focus of the energy increases, the manifestation becomes more pronounced and then draws more energy towards itself, a vortex of positive feedback. The center of this focus is analogous to what the Hindus call Bindu, a dimensionless source point that acts as a seed for manifestation. At the bottom of our chakra column, the forces coming down from the top have gone through 6 levels, gaining density with each one. So they are most solid at chakra 1, which is what we're working on. The upward force of dispersal, however, are relatively undeveloped in the first chakra. Skylar, stop! She scratches her face till it's bleeding sometimes, and I have to get on to her about it. The upward forces of dispersal, however, are relatively undeveloped in the first chakra, with a heavy emphasis inward and little movement outward. We may have centripetal forces that lock into place with each other and create the material world we see around us. Materialization, then, is a cohesion of similarity created by the indrawing of the center. Materialization, then, is a cohesion of similarity created by the indrawing of the center. This core structure draws toward itself those forms that are responsive toward its particular cohesive force. Money attracts money. The more we have, the easier it is to create, especially when critical mass is reached. Squares attract squares because they fit in the central structure, as in the design of a house or a grid of streets. Gravitation is a basic first chakra principle, as it condenses consciousness and energy into materialization. Whether we're talking about mass or money, the more we have of something, the easier it is to attract more of the same. This principle can both ground us, giving us security and manifestation, or trap us, keeping our consciousness bound to limited forms. As something becomes larger and more dense, it also becomes more inert and tamasic. Now, tamas, that's one of the 3 energy lines. This means it is less able to change. If you have a big house with lots of possessions, it is more difficult to move. The physical realm appears relatively solid and unchanging. In reality, however, the atoms that make up our perception of solidity are almost entirely empty space. Lost my put. If we enlarge one of the smaller atoms 100 billion times, its height and width becomes as large as a football field. The atom's nucleus would then be large enough for us to work with, about the size of a tomato seed. Electrons traveling around the nucleus are far smaller still, about the size of a virus. Imagine these electrons, viruses, occupying a space as big as a football field with a tomato seed in the center. Between the nucleus and the electrons, there is nothing but empty space through which you move, yet we have the illusion of solidity. In fact, electrons and photons are described by physicists as diffuse fields of energy and only exist as discrete particles when observed with the proper apparatus. It is consciousness itself in the act of observation that causes the diffuse field to collapse into discrete particles. In the words of Albert Einstein, we may therefore regard matter as being constituted by the regions of space in which the field is extremely intense. There is no place in this new kind of physics both for the field and matter, for the field is the only reality. Einstein proved that matter is condensed energy. When energy becomes highly concentrated, it warps the structure of space-time, creating what physicists call a gravity well. The larger the mass of an object, the deeper the gravity well, and the stronger its pull in other objects. The Hindus talk about the material world as being made up of Maya, or illusion. In this century, research in physics has managed to pierce through the veil of illusion that upholds the solidity of matter. Through the use of huge particle accelerators, physicists have been able to probe the subatomic realm, discovering truths that shake our Newtonian perceptions of the physical world. Even the apparent solidity of particles in atoms' nucleus is an illusion, because they are made up of point-like entities called quarks, which are about the size of an electron. Strangely enough, these discoveries, while making earlier science sorely inadequate, have correlated many beliefs of Eastern religions. Now, both science and religion are pointing to the conclusion that the universe is a dynamic interplay of varying aspects of energy and consciousness. If there is a unifying field behind the world we experience, it is the very consciousness with which we perceive it. If there is a unifying field behind the world we experience, it is the very consciousness with which we perceive it. You are what you think about. So we have 3 minutes left. I'm going to turn this off in a minute, post it, clear my storage, and then we're going to talk about the first chakra exercises. And one thing I wanted to say while I'm still recording is this part when they're talking about electrons and protons and neutrons and stuff. It's really hard to understand. It is for me too. Sometimes I have to reread it. But while I was raising darling Bodhi, my son, who's passed away 4 years ago, we would drive around in our little wheelchair van when I was living in Sonoma County, and we rented this book on CD, and we would listen to it, and it's A Short History of Nearly Everything by Bill Bryson. And it's actually worth listening to, because there is a segment where he talks about that and really makes it digestible for laymen, which means like people who don't really understand scientific language, which I don't really. Only through experience do I get it, do I understand it. And there are people in my life who do understand it and have explained it to me in ways that I can understand, which I'm super grateful for that. And then also just my own life experience allows me to understand. But it's a good book, A Short History of Nearly Everything. And I recommend getting it on CD or tape, because the book is like this thick and it's a little daunting, but it's really fascinating. He talks about everything from the tectonic plates to Marie Curie, the scientist. I think that's her name. And protons, neutrons, and it's really fascinating. Bodhi and I enjoyed it so much. We learned a lot by listening to that CD driving around in our car in Santa Rosa doing our errands when he was younger. Love you, Bode. Shout out, baby, spirit, who you are everywhere now. Love you, babe. Okay, bye. I'll record later.